Welcome to part 5 of this 6-part series of brief videos on how to write a strong proposal to AERA. My name is Dr. John Strong, and I am the program chair of AERA's Research in Reading and Literacy Special Interest Group, or SIG 11. In this video, I will be discussing how to understand the reviews that you receive. As you will recall from part 4 of this video series, the reviews that you receive will depend on whether you submitted a paper submission or a session submission. A paper submission is an individual paper with one or more co-authors. When you submit an individual paper for presentation, you will be asked to select your preferred session format of paper, poster, or roundtable. Each of these formats results in papers that are related being grouped into sessions. A session submission is a fully planned session that involves multiple presentations or participants and a chair. Session formats include demonstrations, offsite visits, structured poster sessions, symposia, working group roundtables, and workshops. This is the rubric that will be used to review paper sessions that are submitted. You'll recall from part 4 of this video series that paper submissions are reviewed on 6 criteria. The first criterion for review is the objectives or purposes of the paper. Papers will be rated from 1 to 5 on a rating scale that ranges from insignificant objectives or purposes to critically significant objectives or purposes. And these determinations will be made by peer reviewers in the field who have expertise on the topic and methods. The second criteria or criterion for review is the perspectives or theoretical framework. This will be rated on a 5-point scale from 1 to 5, with 1 being not articulated or 5 being well articulated. The third criterion is the methods, techniques, or modes of inquiry, which are rated from 1, not well executed, to 5, well executed. The fourth criterion is the data sources, evidence, objects, or materials. These will be rated from 1, inappropriate, to 5, appropriate. The fifth criterion is the results and/or substantiated conclusions or warrants for arguments or points of view. And these will be rated from 1, ungrounded, to 5, well-grounded. And finally, the sixth criterion is the scientific or scholarly significance of the study or work, which will be rated from 1, routine, to 5, highly original. If you're submitting a session, you'll see that peer reviewers will be asked to rate the session on 10 criteria. The first criterion is the objectives of the overall session, which will be rated on a scale from 1, insignificant, to 5, critically significant. Second, the session will be reviewed in terms of the overview of the presentation on a scale from 1, unclear or unorganized, to 5, clear or well organized. The third criterion is the scholarly or scientific significance, which will be rated from 1, routine, to 5, highly original. And the fourth criterion for review is the structure of the session, which will be rated from 1, unclear or unorganized, to 5, clear or well organized. After these 4 criteria, reviewers will use the same 6 criteria that are used to review paper submissions in regard to the individual papers themselves that form the session. So, the papers collectively as a whole will be rated in terms of their objectives or purposes, perspectives or theoretical framework, methods, techniques, or modes of inquiry, data sources, evidence, objects, or materials, results and/or substantiated conclusions or warrants for arguments, points of view, and the scientific or scholarly significance of the study or work. In addition to the numeric ratings that you will receive for each of these criteria, peer reviewers are asked to submit comments to the program chair, as well as comments to the author or submitter. If you are the person from your team who is submitting the paper or session submission, you will receive the comments to author/submitter that the peer reviewers submitted alongside their numeric reviews. In addition, each of the peer reviewers who has reviewed your submission will make a recommendation as to whether the submission should be accepted or rejected for presentation at the AERA annual meeting. The program chair will ultimately decide, based on the reviewer's recommendations, which submissions are accepted or rejected for presentation at the AERA annual meeting. I hope you found this brief video useful in understanding the reviews that you'll receive for your submission. Thank you.